good. Is it objectively good? Not really. Is it subjectively good? I don't know, but
it could be. It could be.
Hello. Do you want to play a game?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I see dead people.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Here's Johnny.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Welcome to Talking Horror with Jamie and Nikisha.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Nikisha, and this is Talking Horror with Jamie.
And Nikisha.
Where we share our love for all things scary and talk horror through the lens of human behavior. Welcome, everyone. I have my lenses right here. Maybe I'll put them on. Maybe I won't. I'm being a rebel today. We'll see what my eyes do looking at this screen. Happy October. We're knee deep in it. Hope that you're doing all of the good spooky things.
October, scary. Ooh.
More like Rocktober, because we're rocking to horror movies. Oh,
actually, we are. I'll accept that because Jamie's like, no, but I'll accept that.
Thank you. I'm excited to tell you everything that Jamie and I watched over the past couple of. Oh my god, it's so much. You're gonna
same.
It is so much.
Yes. There's some other movies I need to tell y'all about that I had watched too. So
we might not even get to hide and seek today.
Exactly. Well, because there's just so much content and it's so exciting. Because it has felt, at least in the past couple of years, a really nice renaissance of horror movies and people really trying to make them box office hits. So it's a lot of stuff, a lot of good things. But today, why you are here, because you read the title and then clicked play on this. Today, we are talking about the 2005 psychological thriller Hide and Seek.
I want to talk to Charlie.
What would you like to talk about?
I'd like to talk to him about all sorts of things.
Like what?
Like, what makes him happy, what makes him sad. So what do you say? You think he can introduce us?
I don't think that's gonna work.
Why is that?
He doesn't like you very much.
No.
Hide and seek.
Come out wherever you are, which is that whole phrase throughout the movie.
Run, run, run. Time to run and hide. Run, run, run. I am going to find you. Dun, 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 dun.
Actually, that's what we need to
hide and seek.
If you don't teach Elliot that, like, what a disservice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll like rock him to bed and be like, run, run, run.
Right.
Yeah, I'll turn into a lullaby. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So Hide and Seek was directed by John Paulson, and it stars Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning. So spoilers, if you have not seen this movie from 20 years ago, crazy to think about that.
20 years ago. Ugh.
20 years ago. And then I just see how old sit with how old I am. But Dakota, always Dakotas. And
she's Dakotaing in this for sure.
She is Dakotaing for sure in this, which is super nice.
Yep.
Great. So heavy spoilers if you have not seen Hide and Seek, and Jamie's going to hit us with some kind of weird trigger warnings in this movie. I'm going to call them weird.
Are they weird? So big spoiler, this movie features dissociative identity disorder, but
does it?
But it's not great. Yeah.
Right. Is it really that?
Is it though? Yeah. So there's that.
That's funny.
There's also murder. Woo.
So much murder.
There's quite a lot of murder. But I don't think any. Are there any insides on the outside?
Just blood.
I guess the bathtub scene is pretty bloody. And
the cat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Drowned animal. Fake suicide because it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Coming like being pushed out of a window.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
That's not funny, but it was funny in the moment.
Yeah. Like inappropriate, complicated, traumatic relationship between a child and an adult.
Yes.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Weird neighbors.
Very weird.
A very weird town.
Very weird town.
Yeah.
Yes. That we'll talk about that.
Is super strange.
Everyone is so weird. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A cave unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
If you're an early 2000s film or a mid 2000s film, you need to have a cave.
Lots of caves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's gun use. Guns.
Oh yes.
I think that's everything.
That seems about right.
That's it. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, before we get into everything hide and seek, producer Brian's going to give us just a couple words.
Yes, of course. Hi, everybody. Hi, YouTube. Thank you. Hey, YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're listening to us with just your ears, hi. We are so thrilled that you are here. Happy October. It is our favorite time of the year. You cannot convince us otherwise. But the cool thing is, and hear me out, we're doing horror movies all year. So every Thursday when we release an episode feels like October.
Yes.
Or Rocktober.
October.
We also are on TikTok and Instagram at Talk Horror Pod. Right now, during October, we are running our 31 days of horror. So you can see all of the mental health and human behavior thematic prompts for all of your watch list needs. That's been really fun to do. But we also cover horror movies that we are not covering on an episode of Talking Horror. So you can see a lot of that stuff there. You can also see a lot of the cool stuff that we've done in October, like haunted houses, just like fall activities that we do. So definitely check us out on all those social medias. I think you'll really enjoy that. But something that I also wanted to do is we really would love reviews from you. We would like them, whether you're on Spotify, whether you are on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, comment. We would really appreciate that. You can also write on our letterbox. You could do that. That's fun. All that stuff is in the description of this episode. But what I want to start doing, and this was actually Jamie's idea, what I want to start doing is sharing some of the recent reviews that we've gotten from our fantastic dedicated listeners, because we want to feature you on the podcast and maybe give you some incentive to actually write some. That would be great. Because we like reading them. They really do help with the algorithm, with people finding us. However, like, they really are fun for us to read and make us feel good, because we know we do this for us. We're not going to lie. We also do it for you, because we want to make sure we do share what we're watching and make sure that we're connected through a community in some way. So I'm going to start with a review. I'm just going to read one by a comment on YouTube by Zeno Gray 13. Hey Zeno, thank you for writing. We appreciate it. They said, I love the shit out of this podcast. I've been binging watching y'all, heart emoji. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. You can watch all of our episodes on YouTube. You can listen to us wherever you get podcasts, but just wanted to throw it out there. Happy Halloween, happy October, happy fall. We really appreciate you being here. Those are my words.
Amazing.
Nice
also
words.
They were great words. Also, just a shout out to producer Brian, who is working his ass off with this social media, trying to get content to you all so that we can have spooky season all year round, which is why we're here. So just shout out to producer Brian, because he is putting in so much work and so many hours to make sure that we are getting the content that you want, to getting quality content that you deserve. So good stuff.
It's fun. Thank you.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, we got to talk about what we watched. Also, I don't think that we talked about the fact that y'all went and saw him at a tell me about it. I'll let you tell. Yes.
Sure. So we were invited to an early screening of him in locally, and it was we had a really good time. it's very weird. You walk in and then there's rows that are reserved for influencers and press. And we get those rows because we're considered influencers, which is like not true at all. But it's cool, but I'll take it. So we
take it. Yeah,
early.
for sure.
It feels very weird, but yeah, we were there. It's funny. I'm seeing a lot of the same people at a lot of these invited screenings, which is super cool.
Nice.
We've been to him. We did Conjuring Last Rites and then Weapons. So, it's been really fun. And then we did Talk to Me last year or 2 years ago, whatever that was, pre baby. But we were having it's been really fun. Honestly, what has been really helpful for me, just speaking for myself, seeing it before the hype, because I'm on TikTok because I'm interacting with other people on TikTok. I'm watching to see what the trends are, but I will get a lot of the influencer content that we create too. That's like, did you like it? Did you not like it? And I feel like there's a lot of hype behind stuff, and we try and tell the truth as much as we can on social media. But I really like seeing a movie, and especially because I have not been watching trailers this year, which has been the best thing I've ever done. Not ever, but you know what I mean.
No, that's great.
Ever. Like Wedding 2,
right, Kid,
Baby 3, no. Not watching trailers this year, number 1 with a bullet. But no, it's been really nice because we can form our own opinions without being influenced, and I like that. And then honestly, I was shocked when people like kind of didn't dig it, because Jamie and I dug it. Like, it wasn't perfect, it had its flaws, but we liked it.
I really enjoyed it. It like deeply affected me, and I was really surprised that people like it. Definitely, there's moments that are like very serious, there's moments that are a bit campy, like it kind of has a little bit of everything. And as we were leaving, I was like, I feel like this is going to be very divisive, of like, people are either not going to like that like tonal shift. Or like that was the big thing where I was like, they'll either like one of the tones or like the other one, and maybe won't like the fact that they are combined. But it's also like, so many movies have that. So like, what's really the problem?
The hang up.
Did you see it, Nikisha?
No, I didn't, but I've seen the discourse about it. But more so, I've been seeing people saying what you all are saying, that people were tricking them into thinking it was a bad movie, but they go and see it and they're like, this is not as bad as y'all are saying that it is.
No,
it's
so
not
that's what I've
all.
been seeing. Yeah.
So I think that this movie had a little, having not seen the trailer for this movie, I would consider there's been some trailer failure for this movie. And it's more from a marketing perspective. I understand that you need to market this as produced by Jordan Peele. I get it.
Sure.
But this is not a Jordan Peele movie.
Exactly.
It has similar themes that he might explore in his movies, but this one is hits you over the head with its themes. It is not a Jordan Peele movie. It doesn't have the same finesse that a lot of his movies have. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But I think you set a certain expectation for yourself that you're expecting Get Out, Us, or Nope. And it's not that at all. Like, it's in the canon of that world, potentially. But I think that I get you want butts and seats. I get Jordan Peele's the name you use to get butts and seats, and he did produce it. But I do think that hurts your expectations for it a little bit.
Of course.
And I also think that the last 10 minutes is a divisive portion of this, which for me made the movie exponentially better. But I understand why that might not work for other people, similarly to the way The Substance ends and things like that. I dug this, and Jamie did too, based on our conversations.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
I have some speculations as to why people are reacting the way that they are.
Sure.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, I think it's racism.
I was like, I feel like that's where it was going, but I'll let you say it.
Yeah. That's really what I think it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there was like not nearly as much, but there was like a little bit of similar discourse around Sinners, which is an objectively excellent movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that you are outing yourself.
Right. I think there's a little bit of racism in the air. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
What's
that smell?
Is that burnt toast or racism?
Right.
But the body horror stuff in the movie is very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Disturbing.
I would highly suggest it. It's a good time.
I had a great time. I think it's absolutely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets it gets a little bit repetitive in the movie, in the middle of the movie, I think. I think it could have been
it's not like a perfect movie or the best movie ever, but it's not nearly as bad as people are saying it is. It was a good time. Yeah.
Well, that's so funny because I was going on another date, yay, and we were deciding between him or Strangers Chapter 2. And I ended up watching Strangers Chapter 2.
Oh no, Nikisha, no.
And now I regret it so. Talk about a movie that is objectively bad.
Did you watch the first one?
And I didn't watch the first one. I forgot that I did not watch the first one, but then I just saw it was a remake of the 2008 original one.
Yeah. Also, doesn't this one have a lot of like flashbacks to the first, like chapter 1? That's what I read.
No, not even. It has flashbacks to one of the killer's childhood stuff. That's what the flashbacks are.
Oh, what a bummer.
So, I guess I will say,
why are we doing this?
I know. There was no point to this movie whatsoever.
No.
So Brian, there were flashbacks there were some flashbacks to the first movie. But the majority of the flashbacks were them focusing on one of the killers, one of the girls, and her childhood and how she just kind of was always this creepy person who was obsessed with death and, just standard tropey things about killers. But they did not weave it into what was happening narratively at all. And the entire movie were chase scenes. We talk about tension building a lot on this podcast because that's like the basis of good horror. It's like building tension and then having that release and then trying to build it back up and then have that release. And that's where we get our anxiety and our heart rate going. This was a whole bunch of chase scenes that had no tension building to them. So it is an hour and a half of these people just chasing this girl that escaped from chapter 1 with no other exposition, no narrative through line. You're just watching this girl run around for an hour and a half. And it was awful.
That sounds so boring.
It was so boring. Like there was, and I hate to say this, but there was not a redemptive quality in this movie. I can't even say like some of the kills were cool. There was a random wild boar that came out of the woods and attacked. Sorry, spoiler for this. That just came out and attacked her for no reason.
Yeah, what does that have to do with strangers?
The boar was also a stranger.
Well, there it is.
It was a Disney Hakuna Matata Lion King crossover.
It was. That's what it was. And I would rather see that than this.
Yes. Well, this all being said, Lionsgate, still send us to movies, send us cool stuff. Like, don't worry about it. We want to see chapter 3.
But that's the thing, too. It's like we are horror movie fans to the point where we're still going to support horror movies, even if we have,
I'm glad you went to see it in theaters. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. Like y'all got my money. Make more horror, absolutely. But like also just, listen to your audience, maybe. And when you make videos that say this is the story we've wanted to tell, this is where we were going, and then it's a filler. It feels like one of those filler episodes in sitcoms that have nothing to do with anything, but for an hour and a half, not 22 minutes.
Right.
It was big woof. All that to say, I should have picked him instead of Strangers Chapter 2, but here we are.
Yeah, we all make mistakes.
Did you pick him after the date?
Did I pick him after the date? Absolutely. And we'll probably go see another movie because I don't have a lot of friends, and y'all live in Philadelphia. I'm in Jersey. I don't have a lot of friends that will go and see horror movies with me because they don't like it, and that's fine. So anyone that I can actually go and
we can only be friends with people who like horror movies. What are you doing?
You sound like Taylor Swift fans.
Oop.
Screaming. Oh, shut up. I've been in that whole discourse. Mini side note, and that has been the most hilarious thing, watching all the videos of people commenting about her new album, and that's all I will say about it. But I don't have a lot of people who will watch horror movies with me. So the fact that this guy is like,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, let's go see all of them. I'm like,
hell yeah,
let's go.
That's awesome. And this is a good month to have a movie buddy, if you will.
Exactly. Yes. And he has AMC, the highest elite, whatever.
Oh, I know.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Like,
AMC,
let's
what was
go.
it called?
It's A-list.
A-list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an A-lister.
Oh,
so
great.
Brian's jealous.
I love being an A-lister. I had to cancel mine, and it makes me sad. But I'll be back.
Yes.
No, it's okay. I'll be back. It's okay. It's fine. But okay. So we have I'm just gonna read the list of the things that we watch,
please,
and I'll give like a 1-word sentence because I know we got to get to hide and seek. Okay. I watched this movie called Fun House from 2019. It's a low budget, like kind of, it's a low budget game show, like reality show game show, a horror movie where influencers are kind of put into a fun house and they basically have to survive. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I didn't know that till after I watched it, and I kind of liked it. So what does that say about me? I don't know. Then we watched him. Then Jamie and I watched Lights Out, which I had never seen before.
Me either.
Not great, but a lot of fun. We've been watching a lot of stupid early 2000s or mid 2000s horror movies that kind of just like scratch an itch for us. So we watched
a lot
Lights
of things
Out.
that I have seen before that Brian had not seen, and like a couple things that I haven't seen.
Yeah. That's cool.
Lights Out. If you're going to watch Lights Out, watch the YouTube short and you can skip the movie.
Yes.
Good to know.
And it's really short. It's like 5 minutes.
And
it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Lights Out YouTube. Got it.
Then we watched Jessica Chastain and her wig in Mama.
Spotlight for
that
the wig.
They did her so dirty. Oh my God. It's so distracting. But I think that it's not a bad movie.
No, I think she's great in the movie. Also, I did a TikTok about it. I don't know if it's out or not yet, but it is the most fucked up ending to a horror movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes. And I won't spoil it here.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Then we did a double feature back to back of Unfriended and Unfriended Dark Web, which are two fucking great movies that I don't feel like we talk enough about in terms of like original sequel type movies that go together. They're both really good. They both have different tones, each one of them, but they're the same concept. I think they're great. We had an awesome time. I gave them both 3.5 stars, like high 3.5 stars. Like they're really, really good.
Is that the one that's like over the internet, like kind of found footage stuff?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. The screen. I'm calling them screen capture movies.
Oh yeah,
but they have a name.
Yeah, I forget what it is.
But screen capture, that makes sense.
Yeah, but Jamie will look it up. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But those are really good. Actually.
Great. That's good to hear.
What's it called?
Screen Life.
Oh, I didn't know that. Screen Life.
Screen Life or computer screen film. And there's a company that has done most of them. So Searching, Missing, the Unfriended movies.
Of course.
Did they just Spree? We also watched Spree the other night.
Okay.
Oh, while Jamie looks that up, we also watched the I Know What You Did Last Summer new
reboot.
One. Yeah, we did. Did you watch it?
No, I've heard mixed things about it. How'd y'all feel?
It's bad.
Okay.
However, I think that the first hour of the movie is awesome. I think it is campy. It is stupid. They're building these characters. It's really funny in a meta kind of commentary way. Conceptually, basically, they're trying to hide the original murders, and real estate developers came in and tried to build up this seaside town. And I think that's super interesting. Then once they reintroduce the legacy characters, the movie goes downhill. Once it stops becoming this new interesting thing that's fun, and they're just like, we got to talk to Julie James because this happened to her. I'm like, I don't need this. There's no reason to. This was fun. Right. The characters were stupid and fun, Like the guy from Him is in it as well, who's very good.
Oh, nice.
But
I guess I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
Oh, but and it's so hard to navigate like bringing in legacy characters, but to what extent? I guess kind of like with the Scream franchise too. It's like, is it going to be all about like bringing the legacy characters back, or is it like this one? I guess is they're just going to come in and help.
But yeah, for all the new kids. And then the ending is we could talk about that on a spoiler version of this, but like we don't do now.
Okay.
Then we watched Ginger Snaps for the first time.
Mm-hmm. That's been on my list. Is it worth it?
Yes.
All right.
Ginger Snaps is great. I saw a TikTok recently that was like, here's a great like 3 movies to watch that are allegories for getting your period, and like and it was Raw, Ginger Snaps, and I can't remember the third one right now, but it was such a good TikTok of like, yeah, that's an amazing like film collective to watch and whatnot. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But Ginger Snaps is really good. Great werewolf movie, great coming of age movie.
Yeah.
Totally worth the hype that like we had heard so much about this one. I know that it's like Brie Hart's Horror's like favorite horror movie too.
Oh, nice. Yes.
We watched American Mary.
Never heard of that.
American Mary is by the Soska sisters. Basically the Twisted Sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, what they call themselves.
We liked it a lot. It has its flaws. There's some weird character stuff that Twisted Twins. They're in it too for like a little bit. Basically this med student who gets essayed and then decides to go into like plastics, like voluntary plastic surgery, like you know, like putting in fangs and horns on people and stuff like that, and then like goes into this underworld of that kind of stuff. Really good. Has some flaws, but we really liked it. Jamie really liked it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's body modification. Extreme
body
modification.
Thank you. My vocabulary is not here. Jamie is doing my vocabulary back up, and I appreciate that.
That's all good.
So we got Screen Life and Body Modifications.
Screen Life, yeah.
Then we watched Brain Dead, or also known as Dead Alive, which is the early 1990s horror movie directed by Peter Jackson, like a zombie type movie, and it is balls to the wall, bloody fun. Loved it. She had seen it. She knew I was going to like it. We watched it. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Then we watched the 2000 Jennifer Lopez film, The Cell, which I'd never seen.
Yeah, didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good one we could probably do for this podcast at some point.
It's a wild
movie
with very weird visuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Like going into the mind of a serial killer or stuff like that, with this like new therapy contraption type of thing. Good stuff.
Okay.
Then we watched the classic Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Nice.
Which I'd never seen. That is a garbage film that I have a lot of problems with this movie, but I've been thinking about it a lot because it was like so crazy that they decided to do the sequel to Blair Witch as not found footage. Nuts, crazy. Ew. I also have no nostalgia for it. Okay, we still have like 10 more. I watched Night of the Reaper on Shudder. Great. It's filmed like an 80s slasher, but it has kind of a contemporary twist to it, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Then we watched 2000's Cherry Falls.
Oh my God, Nikisha.
Tell me.
It's bonkers.
It is the most...
This is a bonkers movie.
It is the most 2000s. It's filmed in 99 or came out in 99, credited as 2000. It never got a theatrical release. I think like USA TV bought it and then like aired it or something crazy like that. It's Brittany Murphy, who plays the sheriff's daughter in this town of Cherry Falls, where a killer is on the loose, only killing virgins. So then like all the kids in town decide to have like a wild high school orgy to save themselves from the killer. It's fucking crazy, Nikisha. You
I'm
have
just looking
to watch
at the pictures. It looks bonkers.
It's nuts. The sheriff holds a town meeting with all the parents and tell them that their kid it's only killing virgins, and the parents start making fun of the kids. The parents are like, "Well, your daughter doesn't have anything to worry about, like to get laid," and like the other one's like, "Yours are gonna die because they're not attracted." It's like, oh my, and they all get to fist fights. It's fucking crazy. This movie's crazy.
Yeah,
but also the fact that it's Cherry Falls and like popping your cherry, but also like the photos of it is
yes. Like, there's essay in it. There's a lot of weird. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of inappropriate relationships between adults and teenagers.
I'm sure.
Between a father and a daughter.
Yeah, like their chemistry, like it was not meant to be that way, but their chemistry is too good.
Weird.
One of the movie poster quotes says, "The faculty meets American Pie." What? Literally, it says the faculty meets the faculty meets American Pie.
Oh my god!
Like,
I don't know if I agree with that.
No,
at all.
No.
Yeah.
The faculty because it takes place in a high school, and
probably the only
American Pie because there are sex things in it. Like that's the most like high level doesn't make sense like comparison.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, you know what? We watched like 10 to 15 more movies. I'm going to stop there. We'll go through the rest of our list on our next episode, which is going to be VHS Halloween, which we've watched, because I do want to talk about hide and seek. So we'll stop here for now.
Okay.
And we'll get into did you watch anything, Nikisha?
No, just The Strangers Chapter 2 and VHS Halloween, but we'll talk about it when we do.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Great. Well, there's no stopping for you, Brian, because we got to do a plot summary of Hide and Seek, so you got to keep talking.
What's the plot?
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Brian is going to give us a 2-minute plot summary of Hide and Seek.
Okay.
All right, Brian, are you ready to blow through this thing?
Yeah, I'm going to do this in 1 minute. That's my goal. We spent so much time on the movies. I'm going to do it in 1 minute. Let's do 1 minute today.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Steady?
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Robert De Niro wakes up one night to see that his wife has committed suicide. And his daughter sees it too, who's played by Dakota Fanning, we said. And they decide he's a therapist. They decide to move upstate to kind of get away from everything. The town people are weird. They're just like very involved. Anyway, they move into this house. And then Dakota Fanning says that, like, basically has this invisible friend named Charlie, and Charlie is kind of like torturing the father, and Charlie kills the cat, kills their cat, he starts to make friends in town with this Elizabeth Shue character. Elizabeth Shue comes over for dinner. She's being mistreated by the daughter because of Charlie. And they're playing hide and seek. There's a lot of hide and seek in this game. So we are promised hide and seek and we are delivered hide and seek. And while they're playing hide and seek, she gets pushed out of a window. Robert De Niro's like, this has to be some sort of PTSD. What are we going to do? And it turns out that Charlie is actually the alter ego DID personality of Robert De Niro's character, because the night before he killed the mother because he found out she was cheating on him, and that created another personality, and he fully takes over as that personality and starts to kills the sheriff, and he's going on a rampage. And then Famke Janssen, who is like his partner, his therapist partner in New York City, comes up to save the daughter and shoots him in the cave, because like there's a cave in this. It's early 2000s. And then she ends up being the guardian. And then flash forward to her like taking care of her, and then like I think we're supposed to assume that like the daughter now has DID or something like that because of her drawings. This movie is also very early 2000s. We'll talk about that, but it's got everything you ever want from a 2005 film, including creepy kids and creepy kid drawings. And that's hide and seek.
And that's the plot.
That's hide and seek. That's great, actually.
You did the full 2 minutes.
Oh, that.
I'm screaming. I thought that was a 1 minute timer.
I thought it was 1 minute too. I was so proud of myself.
Sorry.
And now I feel like a total jackass. That's so funny.
I mean, but it was still a great summary regardless. So
thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
Great. Okay, so let's get into it in our first segment, trick or a treat, where we let you know, was this a trick? We hated it, or we don't know how we feel about it, or if it was a treat, we loved it. Also, let me know if this is your first time watching this or if you have seen this before. Jamie?
Trick. Treat.
Or Jamie, please go first.
This isn't because I've seen this before, like, when it came out.
Sure.
Yeah. Brian?
This is my first time seeing this. I did not know the twist. This is a treat for me. If I had seen this in 2005, this would have been an absolute trick. But because I went in with like different expectations, I had an absolute blast for an hour and a half. Like, truly was laughing. Like, this was a treat just because of how much I enjoyed the silliness of it all.
Yeah, I think I'm in the just because of that as well, Brian, and we'll get into it.
Sure.
This was my first time watching it as well, and leaning into the camp helped, even though it wasn't supposed to be campy. Great. Let's talk about it with our likes and gripes.
And now our likes and gripes.
Jamie, would you like to go first since you've seen this before?
Sure. And
you suggested this movie, so
yes.
I did. Yes, I did because I have seen this movie before, and in theory, it features some mental health themes that I thought would make for an interesting discussion. So that's why I picked it, especially since we finally covered Split. That I was like, all right, let's lean into other horror movies that, like, where the mental health theme is very much the core of the movie that we're seeing, but is it good? I don't know. So like, my relationship to this movie is complicated because I have nostalgia for this movie, seeing it in the early to mid 2000s while I was like very much in my like getting comfortable with horror phase. But is it good? Is it objectively good? Not really. Is it subjectively good? I don't know, but
it could be. It could be.
But it's very silly on a like, I haven't watched this movie in years. And on a rewatch, I was just like, wow, this really is a wild movie that they made.
Yes.
So what do I like about this movie?
Great question.
I think that Dakota Fanning is like an incredible, like, young girl who experienced a trauma, who like seems really creepy. Where like she's the red herring and like is just a little creepy girl. Doing mysterious things, and like they're constantly trying to make you think that she's at the core of it, doing all this weird stuff. But no, she's not. But like, I think they do. I think she does a fairly good job at like convincing us as the audience that like she is actually maybe the one doing it until the big reveal.
Agree. Like, as someone who watches for the first time, didn't know the ending, knowing that it was 2005, there was a very real possibility that she was actually behind it all, based on like that movie. This movie could have gone two different ways. It was either going to go, it was De Niro, or it was her. Like, what I mean? Like, or I guess the third way that it could have gone is like, there's an actual like entity in the house, because I didn't know what the fuck this movie was trying to do.
Sure.
Also that.
Yeah. I think given the time period, I don't think that it would have ever been her. I think if they made this movie now, well, I don't know if they would make this movie now, but if they did, I think that there's a more real possibility of her being it, because now we have like Orphan and now we're kind of in this like fuck them kids era of horror where like kids are being more at the center of like scary things.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think at this time, I think that would have been too controversial for her to actually be the villain.
Yeah.
It's everyone who is interacting with them, with the exception of like Elizabeth Shue and Famke Janssen is like very weird.
Very
Super
weird.
like no one is acting like a normal human person. When the male neighbor comes over and is just like being very creepy to Dakota Fanning.
Yes.
And it's
she
just
sure
like,
is
what?
pretty.
Yeah.
He says that.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Strange man, get the fuck away from my kid. Like,
and then you're justifying it by giving this weird subplot to the neighbors where they lost their daughter and like what are we doing?
That creepily looks exactly like Dakota in the photos.
Yeah, and what plot what are you adding to the red herring aspect of all of this? Like like it doesn't make sense. Anyway, sorry.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Very, very strange. It's also interesting because I feel like there is this trope in horror movies with children where like they befriend the like evil entity, and then over time it's like it turns on them, and then they're like, oh no, I'm in too deep with this, you know, creepy monster, this man, or my dad. And like her playing with doing the play date and then just like randomly start cutting up the doll face, like I don't know, some of that stuff I was just like, this feels really over the top, and like just because she has this one friend, why would she do that? Like that just felt like a weird, again, I know that they're trying to be like she's creepy, but she's very much giving like, I'm not here to make friends, and it seems like a weird take when like her entire life has been uprooted. And again, trauma impacts all of us in a variety of different ways. She experienced something very traumatic. Not only did her mom die, but also she witnessed it, and like that's something that will stay with you forever.
Yes. And to quote this film, trauma causes pain.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. What a deep, insightful comment. Okay. So Robert De Niro in this movie kind of feels like he's in a totally different movie than everyone else.
Okay.
I don't I don't know what energy he's bringing into this movie, but it's very weird. And it just feels like very out of character for him in a lot of ways. I think part of it is that like he's supposed to be this psychologist. And I feel like he had some kind of idea of how psychologists act. And there's like this weird, like, I feel like wall between him and every other character in this movie, even with his own daughter. Like he has like zero relationship with her. Right. The dynamic is very weird, which I feel like if that is true, then maybe that's why she ends up befriending Charlie, because like she has this weird relationship with her dad in the first place. So her dad in a version that is more like willing to engage with her and like play with her is more appealing than like her regular dad, who just like seems to be very indifferent to her.
Totally, but the movie doesn't explore that at all, if that's the case.
No, and the really weird thing, this is like a step too far, is the fact that he's like keeping weird like psychotherapy notes on his daughter.
Yes.
Very unusual, super weird. I don't understand the point of that, because like that is not your role. Like you are her father first and foremost. Yes, that is your job, but like why are you psychoanalyzing your daughter? Like again, you might have this like, you know, extra knowledge and educational background that might inform why she's acting this way, but like you already have a relationship dynamic with her. You can't also be her therapist. Like that's what, you know, your family friend's job is. Like that's not what you should be doing.
Right. That's Jean Grey's job.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it feel so tropey about how film and TV view psychologists. Because I guess it's what you're saying too, of what Robert De Niro might have thought a therapist does. And so that's how he's acting out the role. Yeah. But it really is a matter of, oh, he must be a therapist, so he's gonna obviously psychoanalyze everyone close in his family.
Yeah.
When it's like, that's not the reality of it. And have you ever even like talked to a mental health professional? Obviously not. You just assume
he
because
should
they
talk
do this
to a mental health
profession.
professional.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, all therapists need their own therapist.
Exactly. Yes. Which also was so crazy to me. We'll get into it with the one that he, I guess, trained, but was her therapist. It's like their dynamic was weird too, because
yeah, oh, definitely.
I literally put in one of my notes, like, as a therapist, how are you not going to listen to another therapist? But fine, like, Robert De Niro just like did whatever the hell he wanted to do. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, no, it's very strange.
Yeah.
And I'll speed up to say this is further stigmatizing mental health, especially dissociative identity disorder, where it's, a very misrepresented like mental health affliction in horror movies. That's just like most of the time, just not well depicted, and a lot of misinformation. And while yes, there is a relationship between trauma and dissociative identity disorder, because like avoidance and dissociation is definitely a like coping mechanism when you're experiencing a trauma, but like not to criticize what his trauma is and like downplay it, but it just seemed very strange that as a result of watching his wife cheat on him at some party, that's what caused it. And like then he happened to make this like alter who ends up killing his wife, and it's just like, I don't know, there's something about that also feels like very disconnected from reality, and it's like this feels like such a weird justification. But yeah, I wouldn't be effective as a co-host on this podcast if I did not say that's bad. They didn't do a good job. That's bad. And
Fair.
that's all I'll say about that.
Yes.
Fair.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that because I don't have much more to add to that. But this was my first time watching this. It is definitely a hoot. Just speaking on Dakota, it's a hoot. I love that because I was really just invested in Dakota's acting, like as an actress, really viewing this child give such a compelling performance. I also thought it was so funny that, she's weird and she has dark hair. That's a characteristic. Isolated, and it's but I just how she interacted with everyone to play on what the script was saying about her, I guess as a red herring, as we all have said, I thought was just absolutely genius. And I really was just so invested in her that any of the other crazy stuff that was happening, I was just kind of like, whatever. But I was there for her. That performance was absolutely fantastic. And it's mind-boggling that someone that age can take something that can be so serious and not have any kind of like traumatic. Like, I want to know how she felt when they said cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's like going home and doing something else, or like having to do her homework and then going back and then having to act like her mom just died and seeing her in a pool of blood, in a bathtub of blood.
Yeah.
Super crazy. And she came out great. She's one of the child actors that, like, coming out unscathed in a sense. So just kudos to her. But I also want to just comment on how much it didn't make sense having the plot twist. It felt like they said, we have to do something extreme, even if it doesn't make sense, because we just want the shock factor of it all. Which is like,
definitely. They want that reveal editing scene. That the edit of that reveal scene. Totally.
Absolutely. But then if you're an actual person who has intelligence and is watching this movie, you're like, but this doesn't make sense though.
No. This all feels like it came from the Sixth Sense. Like that.
Exactly.
That Sixth Sense reveal, the edit, the like showing things that happened beforehand.
Yes.
Feels very Sixth Sense coded, where everything after 99, especially in this time period, you're trying to recreate that moment for audiences.
Right. But it's like we always
With
say
Robert
like
De Niro.
don't treat. Sorry, say it again.
With Robert De Niro.
Oh right, yes. But it's like we said, don't treat the audience like idiots, and that's what this feels like. Because and Jamie, you were like kind of talking about this at the end. If his trauma is created by him seeing his wife cheating on him, and then this altar comes and he kills her, but the altar is like jealous that the dad is dating somebody else and that like the mom is replacing him. It's like, if you're so concerned about the mom, why did you kill her in the first place? That doesn't make sense to me. And I also just a random tangent, but Robert De Niro also in this movie seems too old to have a daughter at that age and to have a woman that young flirting with him. So that felt like kind of off to me. And that whole relationship of another woman coming in felt rushed because we only get them interacting like one time. And then when she's leaving, he's like kissing her on the cheek. And then the next time we see her, she's coming and making dinner. That's one of my notes.
Yes, totally.
Talk about it.
I mean, I just wrote like would you kiss someone on the cheek that quickly after meeting them in this scenario? But also, Robert De Niro but this is 20 years ago. Robert De Niro has like a 4-year-old right now who watches Miss Rachel. Like, I didn't think twice about that because like his real life is you know what I mean?
Yes. I did not know he had a 4-year-old.
Something, I don't know if it was 4, but like somewhere a young person.
Young, yes,
a young person.
Yes,
a young person.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't have any other things to add. I still had a good time watching this, and I feel like I think I feel the opposite, Brian. I feel like if I watched this in the time period, I would be more impressed, but that's just because I don't have the knowledge that I have now.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah,
you know
I understand.
What I mean? So I would be like, "Oh, what a fun twist!" Like,
this
cool.
This is a movie that I probably would have played over and over again if I had a VHS in the basement and like had nothing else to do. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a fun time. There were random things that were going on, but I was still invested. But I also think I was still invested because I kept thinking, "What is Jamie going to think of this? What is Jamie going to think of this?" I wanted her thoughts.
Did she pick it because she loves it because it's stupid, or she thinks it's insane and we have to talk about it? And I think a little bit of both.
I agree. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that I watched this movie though. There are some movies that I'm like, that is a waste of time. I did not feel like this was a waste of time.
Totally.
I enjoyed watching it, even with its flaws. It was still a good time.
The flaws is what makes it a good time.
Yes. Yeah. It's that and Dakota's acting.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think I just liked it too because I knew it was going to make for a good episode for the podcast. So I was like excited.
Oh, totally.
That we had a lot to discuss, that we would have a lot to discuss about it.
Listeners, do you think this is a good episode? Let us know in the comments.
Please give us a review.
Yeah.
And then, so Brian will go, but then Jamie, I don't want to forget, so I'm saying this out loud, to talk about the 5 different endings of this as well. When we get
that's
done
wild.
with this.
I'm just going to read through my list. I actually didn't split the list up into likes or gripes. This is my list. And they're all likes and they're all gripes. Let's say it that way. We were promised hide and seek and we got it very early. Excellent.
Love it.
Wine and pills for the wife? Yes. Some things are beyond therapy, David. Great line.
Great line.
I wanted the death discovery of the wife to be more emotional than going right into the slow motion. Like, I feel like it was like he discovered it was like, oh no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that just, I didn't like that. Oh, a music box? That's not creepy at all.
My God. Love a music box.
These opening credits are everything. And then the end credits with the la, 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 la. And then the neighbor,
all
whoever goes.
The creepy little girl.
Singing,
creepily singing,
or Patrick Wilson singing. The neighbor or the sheriff saying she sure is pretty. Why does the sheriff have the keys to the house?
Right.
Oh, so she finds a hole. What is this movie even about? Like we're finding holes and caves and Jamie and I must have talked about this because I said he has no parental energy and he's analyzing his own daughter. This is too much.
Yeah.
That swing set is way too close to the pond.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
It is. It is.
We said trauma causes pain. Would you really kiss someone on the cheek that quickly? What is up with these weird men? Let's hope you don't end up like her. Okay, buddy, slow down. The zoom into her face when the cat dies was so intense and silly.
Yes. Yes.
But this movie has everything. It's got weird houses. It's got creepy kids. It's got weird drawings. It's got invisible friends. It's got weird parent-child relationships. It's got flashbacks. It's got a weird town. It's got slow-mo. It's got like animals. Like this has caves. This has everything. I love that about it.
Yes.
She just created a flip book. Like, okay, sure.
Oh my God, the flip book. Yes.
I do love a flip book in a horror movie, though.
Yes, I do. The neighbor subplot just like was like so weird to me.
Yes.
I wrote you dying. It's you dying. Whatever that weird. Why are we playing Marco Polo? Why don't we just play hide and seek again?
Oh, when Charlie like fully comes out.
Yes. Also, what was with the room in the basement? Is that where Charlie is sleeping when he's Charlie?
Yeah,
like,
that was weird.
That was unexplained and makes no sense.
But that's the same with the cave too. Like, was he in and out of the cave? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, did the cave? I don't know. Man, there must have been a very long pause in this movie because there was a very long pause I wrote. Wait, why are we calling it hide and go seek? Why are we calling this hide and seek? Like, it didn't relate at all. Just a game they played. Like, is the hide and seek just like Charlie and the DID? I don't know. Not so stupid. Fair. This movie just keeps going. I thought it was over. And then what's with the cave? Why the cave? I wrote. And then I wrote the end. Oh, now I draw nice pictures. And then and then I wrote, oh no, she has it too now. No.
Literally my last line. Are they implying she inherited that?
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
All right, I did not know this had 5 endings. Lay it on us, Jane.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, please.
So the endings. So the theatrical version is the one that I think we all saw where she's getting ready for school and drawing a picture of herself and Catherine looking happy. And then the camera cuts back to her drawing. Emily has 2 heads, suggesting she now has dissociative identity disorder. So that's one of them. Okay. Then there's, and then I think the rest are on the DVD. So number 2, happy drawing. It's the same ending, except the drawing of herself only has 1 head, suggesting she does not have DID.
Cool.
Okay.
This next one's called One Final Game. Emily is shown seemingly in the new apartment bedroom, and Catherine's actions mirror that of her mother's at the beginning of the film. She reassures her love to Emily and begins to leave the room. Emily asks Catherine to leave the door open, but Catherine insists she cannot. As the door shuts, a protected window is visible on the door. The next cut is of Catherine locking the door from the outside, revealing this assumed apartment bedroom is actually a hospital room in a children's psych ward. Emily gets out of bed and does a hide-and-seek countdown. She nears the closet, opens it, and smiles at her own reflection in the mirror.
That's creepy.
Then, this is apparently the international theatrical ending, Emily's Fate. It is the same as the above in the psych ward, but without the hide-and-seek countdown.
Okay.
And then the last one is called Life with Catherine, an ending similar to that in the psychiatric ward, but Emily is not in a ward, but in her new home. After Catherine shuts the door, Emily gets out of bed to play hide and seek with her own reflection.
Okay.
I think that not choosing the happy ending was the right call for this movie because it makes it more wild.
Sure.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the psych ward would have even like upped the ante too of like, what the hell?
Yeah, but I also like the other ending because it incorporates hide and seek.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's crazy.
Damn. Okay, I have one last question for you before we go into our next segment.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking a lot about Halloween movies and not about like the fact that they are Halloween movies, meaning like Haunt, or the Halloween movies, or Trick or Treat, like they take place in and around Halloween. But some movies are horror movies, and some movies are horror movies that have a Halloween vibe to them. Like for instance, Get Out is a horror movie. It doesn't have Halloween vibes to me. But what's it? There are plenty of other movies. I can't think of any of them right now that have Halloween vibes. Something. I don't know. Anyway, does this movie? I should think of examples. That would be helpful. But is this movie a horror movie, or does this movie give off Halloween vibes?
I don't think it's Halloween vibes. I think it's more like psychological thriller, even.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. That it just gives like psychological horror and not necessarily like Halloween. Like I'm gonna watch this on Halloween. I don't know, because I feel like maybe like the Nightmare on Elm Street feels like Halloween vibes, even
That's
though
a good example. It doesn't have anything to do with Halloween.
Exactly.
But it has Halloween.
Yeah.
A lot of slashers have Halloween vibes, even if they don't take place in and around Halloween.
Yes.
Those are good examples. Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, let's get into our next segment. Brains. Jamie's just going to go on a rant for 15 minutes about this movie. Okay, so here's my first question. Obviously, it's about DID, but essentially, I'm just asking, like, can you experience a traumatic event that will cause DID that you're and cause, I guess, alters that you're not even aware that you have? Because I guess in the movies that we watch, or at least like Split, he knows that he has different alters, right? But this one, they make it seem like Robert De Niro is completely oblivious of it. Is that even a thing?
So again, my disclaimer is like, I am not super familiar with dissociative identity disorder. I've never worked with it. That being said, I think the difference between Split and this movie is that in Split, James McAvoy's character has been working with a therapist for a significant period of time. And so I think that part of like the work around DID is around like navigating, understanding your alters and like what role those parts play in how like the trauma that you've experienced, and then also like how you are coping with stressors today. Because again, my very rudimentary understanding is like, if you're thinking about dissociation on the spectrum, when you're experiencing some kind of trauma, there is this like psychological defense mechanism of like wanting to avoid the like horrifying thing that's happening to you or that you're observing or whatever. And so the idea that like, an alter kind of takes the place of like your identity, your consciousness, as a way to separate you from what's happening. And so like that's where a split comes from. So like there's something happening where like you are kind of going somewhere else. And even like, again, there's like not as extreme situations, but are described very similarly. So like there's a lot of anecdotes of people who have been like sexually assaulted who describe kind of like observing themselves from the outside. It's like they're not in their body anymore. They are somewhere else. But like, the reality is that they are physically there, but it's like this kind of psychological disconnect because the actual thing is so horrifying to like sit with in that moment or like experience in that moment. So I can't speak to like in terms of its like origin and inception, how aware people are that is what's happening. But like, again, I think that in Split, like he knows it's happening and has been in therapy for a significant amount of time. Right. So he is aware that he has all of these alters and is working with a not great therapist, is working with a therapist to like, understand and like yeah, I mean, I don't know what their goals in therapy were, but
Yeah.
I think we also like,
Yes.
again, we talked about how Robert De Niro's character like clearly also isn't in therapy,
Right.
which is a bad move anyway. But like, you know, would him being in therapy perhaps have helped reveal that like he's been dissociating and like things like that, which, you know, he's unaware of it because he thinks that he's experiencing certain situations. Like one of the big reveals at the end is that he goes into his office and all of the books that he thought he had unpacked and like his desk with like all the notebooks that he's been you know, taking notes on his daughter weirdly, like they're all still packed. And so like in his mind, kind of dissociating, he thought that he was doing all of these things.
Yeah.
And again, I can't really speak to like, you know, when there are anecdotes about like when an alter is like, you know, the conscious entity, that people lose time. Like people will describe like big gaps in time. So again, I'm not entirely sure like what they would describe happening in that moment, but they might not be fully aware of what took place during that time.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's
is
my best
wild.
explanation of like whatever might be going on in this movie. But but again, it's not really based on
Good job.
Right.
reality. So
yes, it's exaggerated. Yes. Absolutely. Love that. So there was one quote, and I think Brian had mentioned it earlier, but some things are beyond therapy. I forgot who said that. Maybe it was De Niro, but anyway. So my question to you is, have you ever had to suggest like alternate help for someone because you might have thought like therapy wasn't going to be as helpful for a particular person?
I mean, I think that part of the work that you're doing with a new client or a client that you've been working with for a while is like, you know, things aren't stagnant in terms of goals, in terms of like evaluating things going on. Like this is an ongoing process. And so if the work that you're doing, maybe you find that like your approach as a therapist or your methods don't seem to be as effective, or maybe you're getting that feedback from your client, you know, reestablishing goals and communicating about that, I think is a really important piece of like making sure that folks are getting what they need out of this space. And that's even part of my intake appointment. That's always the point that I start with of like, I welcome your feedback. I'm always going to check in with you to see how you feel about things. If at any point you're like, Jamie, I don't think you're the best fit for me, or like, I don't think your approach is really aligning with my goals, like, let me know. We can end. I can offer you referrals. So like, I open up the door for that because also I think it can definitely be awkward to give that feedback to a therapist if you're like, I don't know, and you might be more likely to ghost, which like I am also as a therapist, I'm also guilty of ghosting a therapist. But yeah, I think like I don't think I've ever like quote broken up with a client or like terminated with a client because I thought that their work was done. If it feels like we're kind of rehashing the same things over and over again, that kind of more prompts me to do a check-in of like, how do you feel like this is going? And like, have you noticed that, you know, the last couple of times that we've met, we've kind of talked about this same theme. And like, I'm curious kind of how you feel like we've been addressing that and things like that. Like, it wouldn't just be like a, I can't help you anymore situation. It would more just be like, like a light challenge of like, hey, like, you know, is this still your goal? To work on this thing, maybe your goals have changed. So it's kind of like evaluating if we're still on the same page, and if we're not, then like, you know, we can explore other things. But and that could be different approach, explore medications, explore alternative things. You know, there's also like a small tangent, but there's a couple like other treatments that aren't necessarily medication, like what is it called? Like TCM. It's like the trans cranial something or other with like the magnets that they oh my god, now I'm like embarrassed that I can't remember what this is called.
You know more than us. Don't be embarrassed.
Yeah. I was like, Turner Classic Movies?
No.
Me.
maybe it's
Yes.
TMS. Yeah, transcranial magnetic stimulation. There we go. It's TMS. So sometimes like you'll find sometimes there are situations where somebody will be receiving therapy or also on medication like antidepressants and find that maybe those approaches are not as effective for them. So there is a procedure where they experience magnetic pulses to stimulate nerve cells that they're supposed to help treat what's known as like treatment resistant depression. So it's like this thing that they put on their head and then this like larger machine. And like I've seen videos on TikTok where you see someone's like face kind of twitching because that's the magnet going off. So that's just like one example of another like treatment alternative procedure that has been research that like the reporting on it says that the success rates are anywhere between like 70 to 80% of symptom relief.
Wow.
So yeah, it's but again, it's I think like you have to go weekly. Like it's like a very intense procedure that you do over like a short-ish period of time, maybe like 12 or 16 weeks, but like you're going like frequently.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, there's nice that there are other alternatives that have such a great success rate with that too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I was going to ask a general question about the woman therapist, but I have something more specific. The fact that Dakota's therapist, which we assumed that was her therapist before all of this even happened. So when the dad moves them away and she's like, I feel like she would be better here. Like we still need to, talk. I know that that's a legal guardian taking their child away, but was there anything that she could have done to kind of like, I don't know, still been in contact with Dakota's character to like continue to help her without her having to be completely separated from the situation?
Yeah, it seems really weird that not only would he isolate her from like her everything that she's used to and like her support system, but also like, so we're not continuing any kind of like therapeutic treatment for her after she experienced this like wild trauma.
Right.
Yeah. So like, I mean, if he's so compelled to like move her, then like at least set something else up in the new place or like continue virtually. Like it does not make sense.
Yeah. I was like, it feels like they could have done, or like if the therapist could have filed a report or something, but I don't know, maybe because he's a therapist too, that wouldn't have worked, but that was all very interesting. And my last thing, I think we've also said this comment or this quote too: trauma produces pain that the mind has to release. And so I just want to kind of dive into that statement of like, is this a true representation of how we process trauma? Is like pain being like physically released. In this instance, is being released as DID, which is crazy. But like, how do you feel about that statement?
Yeah, I mean, again, trauma is tricky in the ways that it like impacts our brain, in the ways that we process things, in the ways that it continues to come up in the present, even though it's something that happened in the past. I don't know what to make of this particular statement, but I think that like it depends on no, it doesn't depend on anything. I think that like the impact that the trauma has and figuring out like how to move forward, like we can't undo the trauma, right? Like it has happened to us. But figuring out like how to continue to live our lives without like the weight of that continuing to impact us in the same degree of intensity and frequency that maybe like experiencing the event caused. I think, you're not like releasing pain. Like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
But because again, there might be things that trigger you that even working in therapy for a long time might continue to trigger you. Even, after a period of time, or maybe you're re-traumatized, or maybe something else happens. Like there's loads of things that can happen in the world. But I think ultimately, like, figuring out again, like what what tools and coping skills and like support system and like other things are going to help you, not feel as bogged down and burdened by the symptoms of PTSD or like the impact that the trauma has had.
Yeah, it just even that statement, because it's like, obviously you are the licensed professional here, but just as a random person also raised a flag of, wait, what are you actually trying to say with this? But yes, that's all that I have. Thank you for playing. I know this isn't real, but what were they trying to do with mental health in this movie? Great. Should we Rotten Tomato this?
It's the Rotten Tomatoes game.
Yes, we're going to speed through this because we have a young gentleman who woke up from his nap. Okay. So, what do you think this has on Rotten Tomatoes, Nikisha?
28.
Jamie?
Yeah, like 16.
12!
Wow.
Amazing.
And it has a 50% audience score, and the critics' consensus is Robert De Niro and especially Dakota Fanning have earned some praise for their work in Hide and Seek, but critics have called the rest of the film derivative, illogical, and somewhat silly.
Yes.
That's a good review.
That is a great review. Yeah.
Thanks, AI. Okay. What do you think this has on Letterboxd? As a reminder, it's 0 through 5 with decimal points. Jamie?
2.3.
Nikisha?
2.6.
2.9.
Okay.
Popular reviews at number 3. Imagine 9-year-old Dakota Fanning conceptualizing dissociative identity disorder.
Truly.
At number 2, I don't understand the negative reviews from this movie it's getting on Letterboxd. It's just a good thriller. It is an Academy Award nominated film. It's good for what it is and it does the job. I love the ending. I was creeped out. These actors are very good. There's a lot to like about this movie. And then the most popular review is, see, this is why I don't want kids. They don't tell you what's up. They just act all spooky.
Yes. It's like, please have a conversation. Talk to this man. Jesus.
All right. The 4 S's.
Skull, scare, shakes, and suggestions. The Talking Horror's 4 S's.
The 4 S's are skulls, scares, shakes, and suggestions. Skulls is how well this movie handles mental health and human behavior. Scares is how scary was it, and shakes, how did it stick with you? You're gonna last once and one and done. And then the last one is suggestions. But Jamie, why don't you go first?
Sure. For skulls, I gave it a 2. For scares, I gave it a 1. For shakes, I gave it a 6 because I have not forgotten about this movie since I've seen it before.
Those are my exact scores, Jamie.
Mine too.
No way.
Yeah, that's cool. Has that ever happened before?
I don't think
so.
Those are my exact scores. That's amazing.
That's so wild.
We just hit it. We hit the jackpot. The Halloween October jackpot.
We did. Yay.
Yeah. This is our last episode, I guess. You'll never hear our VHS Halloween episode now. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's so funny. Wow. Let's see if do we all have the same suggestions?
Well, you already said one in the thing, 6 Sense.
Oh,
obviously.
Sure.
And then I put The Shining for creepy kid. And
okay.
Dad. Yeah.
Jamie?
I put 2 other movies where Robert De Niro is scary or the movie is scary. So I have Cape Fear. And I also have Godsend, which if you haven't seen it, we should also watch
I have never seen that.
Yeah. His weird pivot into like horror adjacent films in the mid to early 2000s is very weird.
Wild.
Yeah. Super weird. He did Godsend before this in 2004.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Interesting. I have one we talked about already, Cherry Falls, if you want a very 2000s movie. Totally unrelated, but just insane. And then semi-related, The Uninvited, the remake of The Tale of Two Sisters. We've done an episode on The Uninvited, but I think this has a lot of similarities with that one in terms of
that's so
time frame and stuff like that.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, that wraps up our episode of Hide and Seek. You can follow us on the socials, TikTok, Instagram at Talk Horror Pod. And producer Brian, where can they listen to us?
Wherever you get podcasts. So that's YouTube, hi YouTube, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Rate and review us there. 5 stars, please.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween. Be safe, y'all.
Happy Halloween.
Time to run and hide. Run, run, run.
Yes.
I am going to find you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.